Good morning. I am Monica Conrad, Director of the Division of Parks and Recreation, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to an exciting day here at Jacobson Park, one of our city's most popular parks, with the opening of a new playground and a public art project. We're predicting it's about to become even more popular. I see many folks in the audience today, folks from our construction crews. Our council member Henson just arrived. We've got volunteers from Lowe's as well as Kentucky American Water. So it definitely took a village to put this playground together. I do want to welcome Councilmember Jennifer Scutchfield, who represents this area and who has been a strong advocate for this new playground. We also welcome Jeff Reed, here today representing Mayor Gray. Jeff is our mayor's chief of staff and commissioner of general services, which includes parks. Representing LexArts is Nan Plummer, and she is going to explain the interactive and educational art that is now part of the playground. And we'll also hear from a mom, Sarah Beth Pullum, who is here with a review of the playground from those whose opinions really count. As they say, out of the mouths of babes. We're so glad all of you are here to help us celebrate, and there's a lot to celebrate. A playground that welcomes children of all abilities. A playground that includes an area designed for children under age 2, which is a first for our city. A playground that educates. A playground with butterflies and water and logs from a 200-year-old tree. A playground with something for everyone. Let's start this morning with Jeff Reed, who has fought hard to make this playground happen. Jeff?
Thank you all. My job as acting chief of staff was explained to me by the mayor, and it's to be brief in things like this and not say anything stupid. So please judge me accordingly as we go through. I am extremely pleased to be here today and to be able to talk about this project that's been 2 or 3 years in the making, project that has had unprecedented involvement from the public. A whole lot of people have been interested in this playground, have taken part in our processes of soliciting input, and have helped develop this project. It's taken a while, but I think the final product is something that we're all excited about and can be proud of. I think this project is just one example of the council and the mayor's commitment to our park system. When Jim Gray took office a little over 5 years ago, he talked about a great American city. And he talked about one of the anchors to the great American city being a great park system. And if you haven't noticed, and I'm sure most of you have, our park system is improving all over the county. That's a result of a partnership with the council and a commitment with the mayor. And it's an exciting time to be here in Lexington. It's an exciting time for our park system. Our staff is doing a tremendous job. Another role I have today is to introduce Councilmember Scutchfield. Jennifer Scutchfield represents this district, as Monica said. She has been a key player in this project, in getting it through, and being on the front line of dealing with citizen input. She's gone beyond simply soliciting funds from the rest of the council and getting funding. She's been involved in the planning of the project, in the design of the project, in her role as a Parks Advisory member. She's been a key again on soliciting input from all those who are interested. One thing I'm particularly proud of this park and this playground is its accessibility to those with disabilities. Councilmember Peggy Henson's here, who has a long-standing commitment to those and to that issue. And Jennifer Scutchfield has a great commitment to that. This playground demonstrates that you can have something that is accessible and usable by everybody. Not only the kids that use this playground, but the parents who come and the grandparents also have free access to interact with the kids they bring. And Jennifer's been a champion of that issue. So let me have Jennifer come up and say a few words about this project that she's had so much to do with the success of. Thank you all.
Thank you, and thank you to Jeff and Monica for their commitment to this project. It's been ongoing for several years. Monica, you stepped in after, I guess, the process had been started and has done a phenomenal job. When we've met and talked about additional things that we've wanted, she has never looked at me and said, no, not going to happen. And so I appreciate your all's commitment to the city of Lexington and the kids of the 7th District that come out here to play. I want to thank other partners here. We mentioned Councilmember Henson and her work on it, other council members' aides. Amanda Bledsoe's aide is here, as is Fred Brown's aide is here. I want to thank Lowe's for coming out and doing work, volunteering their work to come out and help build the playground. I want to thank my Parks Board members. Carla Jackson's here. I'm not sure if other people are here, but I appreciate all of their dedication, listening to stories from the kids, listening to the survey results that we went out to the parks and talked to thousands of people that said, this is what we want this park to look like. What I find really amazing is 25 years ago or so, I was a college student at the University of Kentucky, and my sorority volunteered time to build the original playground. I think it's kind of neat that now 25 years later, I'm here helping to open up the new playground that's going to be more inclusive for everyone. We all love the old playground, no question. But what this makes available to the kids and the parents of the citizens of Lexington as well as beyond is amazing. And I'm really excited and can't believe I'm a council member now here to help open the playground. One of the constituents of 7th District that has been very vocal with me as we've been building the playground, as we've been closing the playground, as we've been changing the dates of the opening of the playground. Obviously, Kentucky weather is always suspect. We'll never know what will happen. But she sent me a message last week and she said, I brought my kids out. Her kids are 5 and 3, incoming kindergartner who just went to kindergarten orientation today, and said, my kids love it. She loves it. The kids are safe. She can visually see the kids. As a child, I have a child that tends to disappear, and I will tell you that being able to see my child is a major good feeling. I'm going to introduce now Sarah Beth Paulum, parent to Will and Charlie, and going to give her insight from out of the mouths of babes, and tell us what her kids think. You want me to go get them? Okay.
Speaking of children that disappear, I have 2 of them. One of them's over there, and one of them's over there. I've lived in Lexington for 10 years, and I've been a mom for about 5.5. We've always lived in this side of town, and we do try to get out and use the parks as much as possible. And my kids, we've always loved Jacobson Park. We like the old one. It was not a great place for me to come alone with my kids when they were 3 and 1 or 4 and 2, because they could easily, you couldn't always see everyone. So we were excited to know that they were going to do something a little bit different here. As Councilman Sketchfield said, we have been keeping really close tabs on the park. With anytime we would drive down Richmond Road, we usually drove in here to check on the park. So we have been watching the park's progress and have been excited for it to open. And we came last Friday when they were still putting up the signs of the little different areas, but everything else was finished, and we had a really great time. My 5-year-old particularly said he likes the lookout tower where it has the ropes in the center. We're calling it a spider web. I don't know if that's its technical name or not, but that was his favorite part. Charlie, my 3-year-old, says he likes everything. I will say that they both did especially like the movement merry-go-round over there. And I especially like that there are numerous things here at this park that our other local parks in this area of town do not have. So it makes it fun to come here and try out some new things. So I very much appreciate Lexington's commitment to having great green spaces and great parks for our kids to come play at. So thank you all.
Thank you, Sarah Beth. Now it's time to talk about the art that makes this playground truly unique. Let's hear from Nan Plummer, President and CEO of LexArts.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you all for braving that fierce drizzle to be here today. Kentucky weather. And I think if there's no surface water, there's no groundwater eventually, right? I'm going to start with a quote from Mr. Rogers. He says, "Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning. But for children, play is serious learning. Play is really the work of childhood." And Albert Einstein takes it a step further. He says, "Play is the highest form of research." So on this wonderful new playground and with this new work of art called Livestream, children will be able to explore their world, the seen parts and the unseen, through their movement, through their senses, and in the case of Livestream, especially hearing, and of course their imaginations, and their collaborative interaction with others. And their adults will be able to do that too. Adults need play from time to time, if only to sharpen up those research skills. So if your idea of interactive art involves something with a computer screen, Livestream is not necessarily what you're going to expect from an interactive computer-based work of art. Computers are definitely involved. It's a technologically sophisticated system, but the technology is sort of a means to an end. It's about understanding the world around us, in fact, the world underneath us, the world of water, which is, of course, what keeps us alive. It lets children, and of course their adults, manipulate with their bodies, with their movement, in a concrete and symbolic way, the data from our colleagues at the U.S. Geological Survey that reflect the qualities of the water underneath us. For me, this is a little like, if this seems a little abstract, you'll have to try it. Run down the sidewalk here is the best way on a muddy day. And try these 3 pipes here that will let you make music from this wonderful work of art. It's a little like choosing paints from your box that represent the color of the sunset. Livestream lets visitors pull sound from the earth that represent water. And so this will engage children's and adults' curiosity. I think it will inspire joy, and that in turn will connect them in a way that will lead to stewardship of these resources. We're of course grateful first and foremost to the remarkable team of artists that worked with the Geological Survey and all the other partners, and I'll introduce Kirsten Nash, who represents the Public Works Collaborative, in a moment. She'll tell you more about how this works and how they came up with the idea. It's been mind-stretching to work with them. The Department of Environmental Quality, the DEQ, since 2009 has been working with LexArts to do projects large and small that interpret the environment and promote our care for it. Louise Caldwell Edmonds and Susan Pfluger, we are especially grateful to. This is our biggest and most permanent, obviously, project. The folks at Parks have been terrific to work with. Windstream has been an important partner. Vince Marletta is here. The NEA funded this project, the single biggest artworks project in Kentucky in a decade. We're very proud to have been able to generate that support. And I want to give a shout out to my colleague Nathan Zamaron, our Community Arts Director, who's been coordinating this from the beginning. So I'm going to turn it over, do I turn it over? To Kirsten Nash to let her tell you a little bit more about it out of the mouths of the artists.
Thank you so much to Nan and to LexArts, Nathan. I'm speaking today on behalf of a collective of artists, Bland Hoke, who is a public artist, One whom you might be familiar with, Ben Solee, who is also part of our collective, Sean Montgomery, who is an engineer, was the engineer on the project, as well as John Pope, who is a contractor. We worked in partnership with Bart Davidson at the Kentucky Geological Survey. And really, this project began about 2 years ago. Groundwater is a source of life. Families, farms, entire ecologies throughout Kentucky depend on it every day. Yet, we don't see it. So it's really difficult to understand how our actions affect this really valuable resource. And as artist and activist and author Wendell Berry says, for us to have a responsible relationship with the world, we have to be able to imagine ourselves in it. So, my colleagues and I at Public Works imagine, well, what if we could hear the water that runs beneath the bluegrass? And thus began Livestream. Livestream translates groundwater data from across the state into an interactive soundscape that manifests as public art installations, as you see here today, and educational outreach programs. The idea is to not only raise awareness about what groundwater is as an environmental infrastructure, as well as a social infrastructure, economic, and political infrastructure, but also to actively engage individuals, organizations, and institutions across Kentucky in the cultivation of our waterways. So it's with such great pleasure to share this project with you. It's been a long time in the making, and it would not be possible, as I said, without the support of LexArts, the National Endowment for the Arts. Louise, thank you very, very much, the Department of Environmental Quality. And over the last 6 weeks, it's been a complete sheer joy to be an artist in residence in Jacobson Park and getting to know the community that really supports this amazing green space. In particular, Heidi and Scott with Parks and Rec wouldn't have been possible without you. Wouldn't have been possible. And just thank you to the city of Lexington for granting us the opportunity to make this dream a reality, and also for joining us in this effort to find new ways of cultivating and interacting and sustaining our environment. Thank you.
Thank you, Kirsten, and thanks to everyone for being here today. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the team at Parks and Recreation. Our maintenance staff here at Jacobson Park and throughout the park system have been working tirelessly on this project. Our planning and designers, along with our project management team, have been on this project for 2 years. And it's wonderful to see really this project come to fruition and all of you here today to celebrate. If you have any questions, our participants will be available for individual interviews. Michelle Kasiniak from our planning and design team, as well as Michael Johnson, our project manager on this project, will be offering tours of the playground if you have any specific questions. And now to all Lexington children, come on out to Jacobson Park and enjoy our new playground. With Parks and Recreation, we encourage you to get out and play. Thank you.